Okay, welcome to A Long Time Ago with me, Adam, and I'm joined, as always, by Martyn. How's it going, Martyn?
Yep, really good, thanks, Adam. Yeah, we had a good week this week.
Yeah, nice. We are back on making the grade, despite what we've said in the last episode about probably taking a little bit of time out. And what happened there?
But you kind of have to take the opportunities, don't you? I think when we recorded the last episode, I did have I think I said I had a couple of irons in the fire.
Yeah, that's
and
right, you did.
And they did work out a couple of them. So, I managed to pick up some more.
Yeah. Do I know these ones?
I think you might. Yeah, well, yes, two of them you do because we got them at Echo Base when we went.
Okay, yeah.
But the other two you don't. Yeah.
Okay. So by the end of episode 5, Martyn had spent around roughly 13 weeks collecting and had picked up 21 figures. This puts him at around about 1.6 FPW. I'm going to call that figures per week.
Oh no! Oh my God, that's shocking.
To spare you too much pain, I'm just going to say you paid an average of around about £76 per figure. I did want to work out the average grade as well, but I've got to think about that a little bit because obviously
it's going to be 85, isn't it?
Yeah, but I was actually going to work out like an accurate average, so whether it falls like below or above that. I can't remember if you've got many 90s.
Well, a couple of 90s, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got a fair few 80s as well, so it's going to fall around 80 to 85% more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Adam,
how
Adam and his statistics.
Yeah, I've just brought in some statistics to it all, just to mix it up a little bit, give the viewers and the listeners a little sort of idea of how much that equates to. And I think personally, £76 per figure is not too bad.
No, I don't think so, especially because I've picked up quite a few new, core characters. So I'm quite happy with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I felt like that would be a lot less painful than the total number for you to hear. So yeah. So this week then we are on your 6th edition of this. What have you got for us?
Well, just a quick recap as always. So anybody who for some bizarre reason is starting to watch this video from episode 6, I've decided to, because I grew up with these Kenner figures back in the day in the 70s and 80s, and I managed to pick up a few graded figures in an auction and fell in love with them. So I decided to start collecting all 96. And as Adam's just said, I've got 21 so far, I think.
Minus the ones you picked up for this week's episode.
Yeah, minus the ones I picked up for this week, absolutely. That's basically the idea of the series that we're doing, and there's no time limits. Obviously, it depends on how much things cost, and money being tight as it is at the moment, and life.
And as you said, if you find a good deal, you can't stick around. You can't hang around. You got.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what credit cards were made for.
Yeah.
Normally at this point in these videos, I do a what I've learned section since the previous episode, because as we've said before, we've had a lot of help from the collecting community and with great advice, what variants to pick up, etc., etc. But I don't have anything for this episode. But what I would do is I direct anybody who hasn't already seen it to our 2-part series that we did. We did a Talking Star Wars with blacked out Ewoks. And as Adam says in that video, anybody in the collecting community knows who BOE is. And that hour and 5-10 minute 2-parter was basically everything you need to know about collecting graded Star Wars.
I think we mentioned on a couple of occasions the guy is a fountain of knowledge.
Oh, absolutely.
He showed us so much. It was incredible. well, I don't think either of us really spoke all that much, to be honest, because
No,
it's just pulling out figure after figure. It's just,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
wow.
he was just educated. It was basically an educational video for
Yeah,
you and I, wasn't it?
pretty much. Yeah, 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 it was.
Yeah, it was great. So what I'll do is I'll jump straight to what I've managed to pick up so far in this episode. So I'm going to start with two figures that Adam and I picked up when we were at Echo Base in February. I know it's sort of late in February now, but we were on a bit of a backlog at the moment. So these two figures, the first one was one of the last 17, probably the easiest to get of the last 17 Kenner figures. And this was a 1985 Anakin Skywalker. It was
Mm,
a no COO UKG graded 85%. And I managed, we did a bit of bartering, didn't we? If
yeah,
I remember correctly.
that's
And I
right.
managed to get this one for £70.
Yeah, I don't recall whether we filmed that bit actually. I know I didn't put it in the Echo Base video, um, because I think I wanted to sort of keep it for this episode. If I have that footage, I will stick it in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it
But I
was
can't
actually,
remember.
I have to say, I'm never one for paying if I can help it what the price ticket says. And
Hmm.
I think I said, I'll offer them, £80 a figure because I think it was originally £90 per figure,
Yeah,
something
that
around that. And you
sounds
said, no, no,
familiar.
no, try it for 70. And I did. And it was instantaneous. It's like, yep, no problem.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was a great deal, I thought. And as you're probably seeing on the turntable right now, it's an absolutely immaculate figure. I mean, I personally can't see how it didn't get a 90 grade, to be honest with you. It's absolutely stunning
hmm,
figure. The paint on it is absolutely great. So really happy with this.
yeah,
It's a figure I never got when I was a kid. Probably because it's a bit of a boring figure when you're a child, I should imagine.
yeah, a little
No,
bit.
yeah, no weapons came with it or anything, and it's got those big chunky legs like the Emperor has. So yeah, but no, I'm really happy to have it because, as I say, Anakin Skywalker is one of my favorite characters in the trilogies. So yeah, really really cool figure to have. And as I said earlier, it's one of my first of the last 17 figures.
Yep.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. Good.
So the second figure we picked up at Echo Base was a 1980 Princess Leia Bespin, and it's the turtleneck variant. And it's a no COO, or as Blacked Out Ewok educated us, it's a Noku,
No
as he
coup.
called it. I'd never
Yeah.
heard that before, and I really like it, so I'm going to use that from now on. That was UKG graded 80%. So I'm finally getting an 80%.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
It,
finally dropping down like you said you would.
yeah, yeah. But the paint sub score was 85%, which is why I was picking it up straight away.
Yeah. And that was another piece of advice that we received or that you'd received
Yeah, that
in a
was
previous
Gerard
video.
Coyle, I
Yeah.
think, had given us that advice, and he was absolutely right because again, it looks absolutely immaculate in the acrylic case. And just as the Anakin Skywalker, I paid £70 for that one as well. So really, really happy with that.
Yeah.
My first Princess Leia. So yeah, really, really
Yeah.
cool.
Just starting to get the core characters in there now.
That's right. Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, it took a few episodes, I think, but yeah, getting
Yeah,
there now.
I haven't got a Luke yet, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll happen eventually.
It
It
will do.
has to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it'll have to. So the third figure I picked up, and this was in a auction on eBay. It was a 1983 Gamorrean Guard, and its country of origin was Hong Kong. It was UKG graded 85%, and I paid just under £85. So we'll say £85 for that one.
Nice.
Yeah, again, really, really happy with this one. I had quite a few of these when I was a kid. The Gamorrean guards because you had to have more than one.
Yeah.
The Jabba's
Yeah.
Pilot Palace, and yeah, again, the figure looks absolutely immaculate. Really, really happy with it. The paint on it looks fantastic. I've noticed on some of them, and we've seen them, I think, when we went to the Southampton
I
Toy
was going to
Fair.
say we saw a fair few bagged up, didn't we?
That's right.
With weapons. There
That's
weren't
right.
many toys there with weapons, but these
No,
ones were.
yeah, but the
Um,
ones we saw, I don't know if you remember, they had the
Repro?
no, they weren't repo, but I'm going to call them, they're not tusks, like the horns on their head.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were quite
Sorry.
worn.
Yeah.
They're meant to be yellow, but they were quite worn, so they had the green was coming through them.
Mm,
Whereas this
mm.
one in that I picked up, there isn't any wear on it. So
Oh,
again,
brilliant.
that's why I'm really happy with
Yeah,
that one. So
yeah. Going back to that, obviously, I wasn't thinking what you were thinking, but I'm pretty sure there were quite a few repros there, weren't there? Do you remember?
um,
I feel like there was little labels in some of them.
do you know what? I don't
Warnings.
remember there being repros, but that's not to say that there wasn't. I just don't recall seeing any.
Maybe
Are you
not.
talk?
Maybe
Yeah.
I feel like I saw something, but maybe not.
No, I think that
Yeah.
guy, the stall when we first walked in, they were all legitimate Kenner
Okay.
figures.
Right.
But there might have been some retro collection and stuff like that that you obviously I guess they're kind of repros those ones,
Mm,
those retro
yeah.
collections. They're just remakes of the originals. But I don't recall personally seeing any repros there, and it's
Yeah.
probably quite a frowned upon thing
Mm,
in these sort of
yeah.
circumstances. So
Speaking of the retro collection, I don't feel like we've spoken about it a whole lot. Is it? Have you ever collected it?
no, personally, and my personal opinion, I can't stand it. I don't like.
I'm with you on that. I
Yeah,
don't think they look great.
no, I, the figures are fine. I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with the figures particularly. It's the card backs.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they've made the card backs look like they're worn or
Mm,
they're old and dated with the little white flecks on them.
yeah.
I genuinely don't think that looks very nice.
No, I'd agree with you there.
Yeah, I think if they have done the retro figures in just a nice, perfect mint
Mm,
card back, I probably would have been all over those, to be honest with you.
yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of the big retro sticker that they put on
No.
the front of the card either. So
No.
yeah,
No.
that's probably why we haven't
Do you
talked
think?
about them.
Well, yeah, possibly. Do you think they'll ever sort of gain value or anything?
Um,
I feel like people that resell them sell them at a similar sort of price to
I don't,
retail price.
I don't know too much about the retro collection, so I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert. But my gut feeling is no. I don't think they're going to hold any value.
Hmm.
I
Maybe
just
somebody can tell us about them, and at some
yeah
point, maybe somebody could leave a comment, and if you collect them, let us know.
yeah.
Good to find out more.
I think because they're so mass produced, probably now they're you know they I don't know. I mean, I might be wrong, but I personally don't think they're going to be worth too much. But then, as I found with the vintage collection, obviously having collected it from the beginning, I've sort of met and spoken to a lot of people who have picked up the vintage collection bug far into the run,
Hmm.
and they're still willing to pay lots of money to get the older ones because you just can't get them anymore. So in 10 years' time, who's to say that the same thing won't happen with the retro
Yeah,
collection? Yeah.
very true.
I think actually in the next week or so, because it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, the next wave of the retro collection comes out. And
Yeah,
there is
right.
a nice looking Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker with the green saber card back coming out. But again, it's the card back that puts me off.
Yeah,
Just yeah. Anyway, so
yeah. Sorry, getting off track
off on a
there.
tangent as
Yeah,
usual.
yeah. Well, I was just interested to know your thoughts.
Yeah, no,
Really.
it's true. We've never spoken about it, and I think we're both on the same page there. It's just not
Mm,
really for us, is it?
no, it's not.
No.
No. Moving on.
Um, yes. So I think right. So we're up to the fourth figure, are we now?
Third figure. We've done the two Echo Bait. No, we are
No,
fourth figure.
our fourth
Sorry.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the last figure that I picked up for this episode, this was an eBay auction as well, and this is a big one. This is one I'm really happy to have. Finally, I did have it as a child, but again, it's so nice to have it again as an adult in an acrylic case. It is a 1980 Bosk, and it's
Oh,
yeah, it's great. And it's COO is Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's UKG graded 80% with
Okay.
a with a paint subscore of 85%. Thank you, Gerard.
Good. Good. Yep.
And this one cost me £85. So I think last episode I picked up a Dengar.
Yeah.
So
You're getting all the bounty hunters there, aren't
Bounty
you?
Hunter collection is starting to gain pace now. So
Episode before you picked up IG.
that's right, AG 88. So
88.
yeah, we just need the big boys now.
Yeah.
Forlom, Zuckus, and Boba Fett, I think, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll be away with the bounty hunters.
We all
So
know. We all know how Buffett will be for price. So
yeah, yeah, I'm trying not to think about Boba Fett at the moment.
no, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I mean, even the quite easy to get variants are quite expensive of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see. But going back to Bosk, he's a lovely looking figure. Really love Bosk. Looks great in the case. I'm sure you'll agree.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's probably my. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I was going to say it's probably my favorite pickup of this episode, but actually, I've had three really good pickups in terms of Anakin Skywalker and Princess Leia as well.
Yeah.
So
Not
it's
so
been
fussed about the Gamorrean guard.
well, Gamorrean Guard is great and everything, and
They're
of course he's part of the 96, but
easy
he
to
is quite an
source and yeah.
easy to source. So it's been a really
Yeah.
good couple of weeks, well, probably 3 or 4 weeks since we last did one of these.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
I
good.
feel like going off on another tangent here, but I feel like Bosk should make more appearances. I feel like we should see a lot more of him in the TV series is and any films that they're thinking of making around the right time.
Yeah,
I'd just like to see more of them.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think there's got to be something for him, isn't there, coming up in the future? It's just such an iconic character, and we keep seeing Trandosians in. We've
Yeah,
seen them in Mandalorian now. We've seen them in the Bad Batch. We've seen them in the Clone Wars. I mean, we've even seen Bosk himself in the Clone Wars. So, I mean, it's ripe, isn't it, for
yeah,
him to come into live action again?
yeah. It
Yeah,
would
it's
be
really
good. It
it
would be
would be
good.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's by the by, really.
Yeah, yeah,
That's nothing to
yeah.
do with this episode.
No,
But
no, no. Well, everybody who watches us knows that we end up talking about stuff that's got nothing to do with what we're actually supposed to be
yeah,
talking about.
pretty
But
much. Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
that's it. Is it for this week? Do I need to get the get the
Oh yeah, we
picture
need to
up,
flip the scoreboard up, the
tally up
depressing
those?
scoreboard.
Yeah, I'll tally up those prices and get that up,
Yeah,
and then hopefully next week I'll come back with your new what was it? Average cost per figure.
yeah. Well, I really love the graphic that you put up. I mean, when and if I do complete the 96, I'd actually really like to get this that's probably up on screen right now printed in
Yeah,
some way as a poster because you've done a really good job of it. So
thanks, man. Yeah,
no,
appreciate
it's
that.
really good.
Yeah,
And it's kind of a really nice reminder of when we've done this of
how
what we
much money you spent?
yeah what I've gone through, and obviously I'd have to hide it so the wife didn't
Yeah.
see it, but
Well, if you want me to knock off that bit at the bottom,
yeah, yeah, that would be appreciated.
yeah, just to keep it quiet, or I'll print it on the back, just as a
Yeah,
like as a reminder, just
yeah.
for you.
Put it in
Yeah,
Arabic, you'll never understand.
yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, that's good. That was a good episode, I feel.
yeah, that was a really good
Um,
week.
yeah, another great week. Really good pickups there. Yeah, if you liked this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. Um, Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Bye.